I've made a couple videos about it already, but this is the Fuji X100vi. It's a very uncomfortable camera in hand. Whenever I first got it, that was my first impression. I was frustrated about it because I was like, this thing, I want it to be great, but like holding it, I feel like I'm gonna drop it all the time. So there's some essentials that I think you can do to build it out, or you can build it out like a whole camera, like a big camera. I don't wanna do that personally, but you can if you want. These are the different accessories that we're going to be talking about. Number one, the Pro Mist filter. This is the short stash filter. Really love this thing. Number two, a shutter button right here. Screws right onto the top. It's really nice. Hand strap. This seems so dang simple, but I promise it might be the most essential thing in this entire kit. Adapter. This is just because Fuji is annoying. Hand grip. This bulks up the camera a little bit. Not sure if I'm crazy about it yet. Lens hood plus lens cap for the lens hood. Thumb grip that goes right on the hot shoe mount. And all of this obviously goes on the Fuji X100vi. Now look at how cool this thing is that I'm using right now. Pretty sick, huh? Solo filming kit, hack. Shout out YC Onion. And shout out YC Onion for the majority of those as well. So the first thing that I would say you want to put on your camera would probably be the shutter button. This right here, it's nothing special. I mean, it's really just a little button, has a screw that fits right in. You can buy these on Etsy. I think this one actually is from Etsy. I will say it does take some getting used to because like it's a little bit wobbly on the camera. But this right there, that's step number one. Next thing that you can customize is the hot shoe mount. This hot shoe cover is just the one that it comes with. I tried ordering other ones from Etsy. Like there was a cool one that had like a green leather on it, but it came off very quickly. Another option you have for that, you can get the thumb grip. So this thumb grip, it's not gonna fall off because it has the little black grippers right there. So all you're gonna do there, pop that normal hot shoe off, go here, slide it right on there, and now the camera is a little bit more comfortable to hold, gives your thumb somewhere to go. As you start to make it feel better in hand, you can use this hand grip. So all that it's gonna do is go right onto the bottom of the camera. It'll fit on, it'll clip on flush, and you're gonna mount it just with the tripod screw. To mount it, all you're gonna do is you're gonna grab, which was in the box, the Allen wrench it comes with, and the two different screws. I believe they're the same exact thing. Screw it right into that bottom mount. And now guess what? You got better feeling on the front, you got better feeling on the back, you have the thumb grip, you got the side grip. It feels a little clunky, but it's an option. Next up, my number one thing that I would not get rid of with this camera, a wrist strap. You can get these wrist straps from anywhere. If you saw the Canon PowerShot video, it's the best performing video that's on my channel. This is actually the wrist strap that just came with that. It feels very nice. This is how I like holding it because sometimes I'm gonna put this camera in my pocket. Sometimes it'll be in a bag, but whenever I'm walking around holding it, I go like this, put my thumb through the strap, and this is a very comfortable way to have the camera feel secure. So far, we got wrist strap, we got hand grip, we got thumb grip, we got shutter button. Finally, we get to the front of the camera. We have two options here. Option number one, which is my personal preference, is going to get the adapter so that you can put some kind of filter on it. I personally love having a Pro Mist on it. I use this thing like it's a lens cap. I never ever put a lens cap on this camera. If I ruin anything, it's gonna ruin the filter. It's not gonna ruin the actual lens. if I was to damage this thing, I would be so mad at myself because it's hard enough to get your hands on one, let alone getting it repaired. Sounds like an absolute disaster. It did just fall off a tripod whenever I was camping last weekend, but we don't have to talk about that. But I'm trying to take care of this camera. Let's take that off so I can show you the other option. Now, funny enough, this I'd probably say is the more aesthetic option. When I started seeing these on the internet, I was like, oh, it looks really cool with that filter. The square filter does look really nice. You don't see it in the frame at all whenever you're filming, whenever you're taking photos. This looks really cool, but I will tell you, once you put this lens hood on it, you can't put it in your pocket anymore. It becomes entirely too bulky. You also have the option of putting the little lens cap on the lens hood, which will obviously protect the lens, but you can't put both the Pro Mist that I have and also this lens hood on because one, if you wanted to put the Pro Mist on over top of this, it's a rectangle, so that's not possible. And also, that's also a circular polarizer, so the short stash filter is known for stacking both a Pro Mist and a circular polarizer, so it spins, and you don't want this thing spinning over and over again on you. Overall, this lens hood is just too clunky for me. A lot of what this is too clunky for me. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take off the lens hood. Does it look cool? Yes, but is it kind of annoying? Also yes. Now I'm going to put the Pro Mist filter on it. The Pro Mist will allow me to stylistically get what I want and also protect the lens. And it's also not as clunky, so I can still fit it in my pocket. Next thing I'm gonna do is I have to take off this thumb plate. It's too bulky, I don't really like it. So I'm gonna grab my Allen wrench, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this screw off here. Take the screw off the bottom because when I buy this camera, I want it to be smaller. If I was only worried about quality, I mean, maybe I would just use the R5 all the time. This just turns it into an R5. The R5 is better quality than this, so why would I want to make this the same size as the R5? That's the question that I have to answer and the reason that I'm not using that. Now, I'm 100% gonna leave the shutter button on. I'm kind of indifferent about the thumb grip. I do like it, but for the same reason. It adds a little bit of space to the back and I just don't prefer that. It's making the camera bigger. I don't want the camera to be big. So it's gonna be a pain in the butt. It's hard to get that off. Take the thumb grip off. Replacing the thumb grip with what that originally replaced, just the classic hot shoe cover that came with the camera. I'm gonna leave the strap on it. The strap is like the #1 thing that I would keep. Leave the shutter button, have the Pro Mist. This is what I'm using for almost every single time I am taking the Fuji out to shoot. The camera is a really nice camera, and with a few add-ons, it can be even nicer. I have this nostalgic preset that I like to use, or as the Fuji people call them, recipes. Just launched a video talking about my favorite one, so go watch that if you're interested in what it is. But the Pro Mist just adds to the nostalgia. It also is nice to have the circular polarizer on it. This, like I said, is the short stash filter. You can go buy it, it's really nice. But this is the setup that I'm going with every single time. This camera for me is not a professional camera. This camera is meant for me to use it with the everyday stuff. Whenever I go camping, when I go for a hike, whenever I'm doing activities that don't require the professional Canon R5 grade camera, that's what this thing is perfect for. Also, if you are interested in buying any of these attachments, this one, the hand grip from YC Onion, lens hood is from YC Onion, thumb grip from YC Onion. It's a brand that sells a lot of these Fuji accessories. Shout out YC Onion for sending me these. that is where I got all these, and they sent them for me to make a video about. So go support them. Link is down below. Supports me, supports them, and all in all, really good quality products that feel good in hand. Thanks for watching. Bye. You're trying to get a cameo.